And there are going to be actually somewhere between about 11 and 14 different addresses that are automatically created whenever you plug in that first address. And it does so sequentially. So if I give it 10.1.1.100, for the next 3 servers, it's going to give it 101, 102, 103, 104, and 105, 106 for its management and data store IP addresses. So this is just by default. And you can change these, obviously, but this is by default. The back-end IP addresses also may need to get changed as well. You see here 192.168.0.1. I think the idea here is that this back-end network is this private address, this 192.168 net address for the back-end pieces. So take a look through here, make sure all these addresses are correct and that you don't conflict with any of them, that your gateway is correct, your subnet mask is correct. And if you intend on, for the Vsphere feature, if you intend on using DHCP for the virtual machines and whatnot that are being used there, you can do that, or you can hard code those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that should function for this step in the process. Now the next step here is you have to choose whether or not you want to format the disks on first access or format them immediately. I don't want to have you have to go through all the process of waiting to fill those with zeros, so I'll click the next button and format them on first access. We've been going through this list here on the left-hand side, but here are all the settings that we've configured, and hopefully, if we've done everything right, we can click the install button and begin the installation. So this last error box here essentially says, be aware, we are going to delete and essentially rebuild this environment from scratch. So I'm going to click the yes button here and begin that installation. Then I'm going to pause it so that it can go through all of the things that it needs to. And when we come back, we'll have a completed installation that you can actually take a look at and see what a VSA looks like. So here we go. And poof, we're back. All right, so the VSA is now created. I will admit, actually, that I had to create it twice because I punched in 100 instead of 10 for my IP address, so I actually had to go through it twice and redo it. Again, just highlights the fact that you have to be very conscious of what the IP addresses are that you're going to be using for this entire infrastructure. Another important point here, too, is the fact that when you provision your virtual machines, make sure you provision what is essentially a single volume. Right? And that volume, remember, because you can't change the capacity that you've assigned to a VSA once you've created it. I created these as essentially 40 gig servers, and so the capacity is 7 gigs. And because this is a 3-node server, the total capacity is 7 gigs. So I can support the loss of a host, but I don't really have a lot of capacity here because I didn't create one giant volume for where the ESX operating system exists, and then also where all the storage is. There are 3 data stores here, 7 gigs apiece. I have 3 appliances also, 0, 1, and 2, that correspond to those 3 hosts.